that our government has lied about UFO information, that it's withheld UFO files.
He alleged that the U.S. military was secretly studying alien technology out in the Nevada desert.
In the heart of the Nevada desert sits Area 51, a site shrouded in whispers of hidden projects and alleged alien encounters. This base, enveloped in secrecy, fuels worldwide fascination and speculation about what might be concealed behind its heavily guarded barriers. Tales of otherworldly technology and mysterious sightings draw eyes and minds to this isolated spot, a beacon of the unknown. As we venture deeper, brace yourself. What's buried in Area 51 goes beyond the mere hints of alien encounters and hidden agendas that have surfaced so far. This revelation is set to shatter everything you thought you knew about this fascinating base. The man behind the mystery of S4, one of the most talked about figures in connection with Area 51, is Bob Lazar. He has stirred up a lot of debate and curiosity with his claims. Lazar says he worked at a hidden location near Area 51 called S4, where he claims scientists experimented with alien technology. According to Lazar, they were trying to figure out how alien spacecraft worked, which is an idea that captures the imagination and makes us wonder about the broader impacts of such discoveries. The revelations from S4 could shatter our perceptions of reality, revealing a truth that humanity is not prepared to face. Lazar's claims suggest that humans might not just meet aliens, but could also learn from them, especially if these beings are far more advanced in technology. This idea is both exciting and a bit scary because it makes us rethink what we can achieve and imagine the possibilities if we could understand alien technology. However, not everyone believes Lazar's story. Many people, including experts, point out that there are inconsistencies and no concrete proof to back up his claims. But even with all the skepticism, what keeps people intrigued is not necessarily the details, but the big question his story raises for humanity. The idea that there might be a secret facility where alien technologies are being studied pushes us to think differently about our past and what the future might hold. But this wasn't the most surprising part. The idea of actual contact with aliens has huge consequences. It makes us rethink our place in the universe and challenges the belief that humans are the most advanced beings in control of our world. If aliens have visited Earth, or are even still here, it questions our sense of power and independence. This idea creates a blurry line between reality and science fiction, making a story that is both captivating and thought-provoking. It forces us to consider the possibility that there might be hidden truths the government is keeping from us, adding even more mystery to the already secretive nature of Area 51. Bob Lazar in this story becomes a controversial figure, a sort of whistleblower who claims to reveal state secrets about alien technology and their presence on Earth. His journey from a scientist to a key figure in the world of UFO theories shows how deeply humans want to discover hidden truths and understand the unknown parts of our universe. In 1989, Bob Lazar made a decision that changed his life forever. He appeared on television claiming he was a physicist who had worked at a secret facility near Area 51, a place he called S4. This hidden base, tucked away in a valley surrounded by mountains, was the center of an incredible operation, according to Lazar. He claimed the government was trying to figure out how spacecraft from other planets were built and how they worked. Lazar said he was part of a team that studied 9 different spacecraft. While these vehicles looked different on the outside, he insisted they all had the same design inside. His job, he explained, was to uncover how their advanced technology worked. When Lazar made his story public, it caused quite a commotion. People who believed in UFOs and alien visitors saw his words as solid proof that the government was hiding huge secrets about alien technology and beings. On the other hand, many people were doubtful. They questioned Lazar's qualifications, whether he really worked at S4, and even if S4 existed at all. Despite all the arguments and debates, Lazar's story has remained a hot topic for years. But this wasn't the end of the story. Bob Lazar's claims have sparked endless debates. Some people find it hard to believe, doubting that such advanced technology exists or that human scientists could figure out how alien spacecraft work. Others are fascinated by the idea of humans trying to understand technology from other worlds, wondering what this could mean for our knowledge of the universe and our place in it. The idea that there could be a secret government base working on these tasks feeds into long-held suspicions about how open governments really are and what they know about alien life. These stories, often seen in movies or shared in whispers during late-night conversations about encounters with beings from other worlds, paint a picture of what might really be out there. They make us question what we know and fuel our curiosity about the unknown. Think about the way movies show spacecraft from other planets. In Arrival, for example, silent, hovering ships appear above Earth, their purpose and design mysterious and almost magical. They challenge our understanding of physics and suggest endless possibilities waiting in the unexplored parts of space. They also make us wonder about our own significance in the universe. In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the giant mothership lights up the night sky like a floating city. It communicates without words, just through flashing lights, suggesting it's a home for many beings. Its origins and intentions are hidden somewhere in the vastness of space. These movie scenes do more than entertain. They make us think about what life beyond Earth might be like. But this wasn't the only thing that kept people wondering. Real-life stories from people who say they've seen these mysterious ships add another layer to the UFO mystery. The familiar image of a glowing flying saucer has fascinated people for decades. Some reports describe pancake-shaped crafts with clear sections and strange antennas, showing technologies that seem both familiar and completely foreign. There are also tales of long, cigar-shaped ships that carry smaller vessels, like motherships exploring our solar system. Pilots have reported seeing orbs or disks darting through the sky at unimaginable speeds, their bright lights defying our ideas of motion and energy. And then there are the pyramid or diamond-shaped crafts with no windows, just shiny metallic surfaces reflecting the sunlight, designs that seem to come from another world entirely. These stories, whether created by filmmakers or told by sky watchers who think they've glimpsed something beyond the stars, encourage us to dream about what could exist beyond our current knowledge. They fill us with a mix of wonder and unease about the unknown, making us reconsider our place in the universe. Lazar described the alien spacecraft as sports model flying saucers, which he said were powered by a reactor using element 115. According to him, this element could produce a gravity wave, allowing the saucers to fly. This kind of technology was like nothing on Earth, and Lazar's job was to figure out how it worked and if it could be replicated with materials and science we know. But this wasn't the toughest part. The work at S4, as Lazar described, was a mix of advanced science and guesswork, all done under strict secrecy. Teams were kept separate from one another, and no one knew what the others were working on. Information was given only on a need-to-know basis. Lazar also talked about the extreme lengths the US government would go to keep these secrets. He claimed that anyone who tried to speak out would have their academic and work records erased or changed to damage their credibility. Let's explore how Bob Lazar's bold claims stirred up a storm of scrutiny. Truth or fiction at Area 51. When Bob Lazar stepped forward in 1989 and claimed he had worked with alien technology at a secret facility near Area 51, his words caused a huge stir. People immediately started looking closely at his background and qualifications. Critics quickly noticed some big gaps and mistakes in his records, which made them question if his story was real or if he had made it all up. Even with all the doubts and arguments around his claims, Lazar's story has continued to grab people's attention and spark a lot of speculation. The idea that there might be a hidden government project focused on studying and even copying technology from other worlds makes us question what we know about reality and imagine endless possibilities. It hints at the existence of beings from other planets who have knowledge and abilities far beyond our own. Whether Lazar's story is completely true, partly true, or not true at all, it makes us think about the big unknowns that could be just beyond our current understanding. But this wasn't the most confusing part. A big part of the debate around Lazar is about his education. He claimed he got degrees from two very famous schools, the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. These schools are known for being extremely hard to get into and for training some of the brightest minds in science and technology. If Lazar really had been educated at these places, it would have given his story some credibility, especially since anyone working on the complicated task of understanding alien technology would need a strong background in science. However, when skeptics and reporters looked into Lazar's past, they couldn't find any proof that he had ever attended or graduated from either Caltech or MIT. This missing information made many people think that if Lazar wasn't telling the truth about his education, maybe his whole story was made up. It cast a big shadow of doubt over everything he claimed. In response to these doubts, Lazar had an explanation. He suggested that the government had erased his academic records on purpose to ruin his credibility and stop people from believing his story. This idea of government interference isn't new in stories about UFOs. It's often suggested that there are efforts to hide the truth about aliens and their technology from the public. But this wasn't the hardest part to believe. The arguments about Lazar's education are important because they directly affect how believable his whole story is. If there is no proof of his education, it could be seen as a big warning sign that his claims of working with alien technology are not true. But if Lazar's idea that the government tampered with his records is correct, it suggests something even more troubling, that there might be truths out there so shocking that they are worth going to great lengths to hide. Bob Lazar's claims sound like scenes straight out of a science fiction movie. His stories make us imagine and wonder about the many unknowns of the universe. They encourage us to dream about what might be out there, beyond what we know on Earth. Movies have often shown us what encounters with aliens might look like. In Arrival, for example, we see huge, misty ships silently hovering over the Earth. These mysterious ships make us rethink what we know about technology and science. They spark our curiosity about the unexplored parts of space and where we fit into the bigger picture. In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, there is a giant spaceship that looks like a bright city floating in the night sky, flashing its lights as if it's trying to communicate. This kind of portrayal not only entertains us, but also deepens our fascination with the idea of life beyond our planet. But these aren't just stories from movies. Real-life claims of UFO sightings keep adding to the mystery. People have described alien ships in many different ways. Some say they look like flat, round pancakes with windows and strange antennas, while others talk about long, cigar-shaped ships that might carry smaller crafts for exploring. These accounts make it seem like these motherships are scouting our solar system, which makes the stories even more exciting. Pilots have also reported seeing strange objects that look like shiny, fast-moving discs or coins with bright, colorful edges. Then there are stories of pyramid or diamond-shaped crafts with no windows, reflecting the sun's light in a way that is completely different from anything known on Earth. Whether these tales come from movies or real-life sightings, they mix wonder with a bit of fear, making us think hard about our place in the vast universe. But this wasn't the strangest part. The idea of spacecraft with technology and designs we can't understand pushes us into a world of deep curiosity. Thinking about these alien technologies and the hidden parts of space makes us eager to explore the unknown parts of the universe. Bob Lazar became well known among UFO believers in the early 1990s when he claimed to have worked with alien technology. He said this technology was powered by something he called Element 115. At first, many dismissed his stories as pure fantasy, but in 2003, a new element called Muscovium was discovered. Even though Muscovium did not have the stable properties Lazar described, its discovery brought his claims back into the spotlight and sparked fresh debates. Lazar also described how an alien spaceship's engine worked. He said it used Element 115 to control gravity, allowing the ship to move quickly in any direction. This kind of technology might explain some of the strange movements seen in UFO sightings. Despite doubts about Lazar's past, his detailed talks about complex science and secret projects continue to capture the interest of many people. His supporters believe his knowledge suggests he has access to very advanced information. The discovery of Muscovium has kept discussions about his claims alive and ongoing. Dive into the documentary that reignited interest in Bob Lazar's controversial story, The Lazar Tape. The 2018 documentary about Bob Lazar brought his remarkable claims about alien technology and secret government projects back into the spotlight. Directed by Jeremy Kenyon Lockyer Corbell, the film reintroduced Lazar's story to those already familiar with it and introduced it to a new generation. This revival of interest came at a perfect time. Conversations about UFOs and alien technology were becoming more common, especially after 2013, when the U.S. government officially acknowledged the existence of Area 51, a secret military base Lazar had mentioned years before. This added some credibility to Lazar's earlier claims. For many years, Bob Lazar has said that during his time working at a government facility near Area 51 in Nevada, he was asked to study alien spacecraft. He claimed these advanced technologies were far beyond what we can currently achieve, and that the government was hiding their existence from the public. He said he felt it was his duty to share what he knew, even though he faced serious consequences like death threats, attempts on his life, and even raids by the FBI. Corbell's documentary, called Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers, takes a deep dive into these claims. It combines interviews with Lazar himself and George Knapp, the journalist who first made Lazar's story known to the public in 1989. Both Lazar and Knapp have always stood by Lazar's story, and the documentary seems eager to support their stance. But this wasn't the most convincing part. The film has been criticized for not bringing any new evidence or arguments to the table. It mostly repeats old conspiracy theories and doesn't challenge or add much to what's already been said. For those who are skeptical, the documentary does little to change their minds, simply restating familiar claims without solid proof. People who already believe in government cover-ups might feel their views are confirmed, but others are likely to remain doubtful because the film doesn't present any fresh, compelling evidence. Lazar comes across as well-spoken and seems sincere, but he often appears tired, as if he's worn out from repeating the same stories over and over. He seems defensive whenever faced with doubt. In contrast, Corbell, the filmmaker, approaches the topic with great enthusiasm, treating even the smallest detail as significant evidence of Lazar's claims. This eagerness might come off as a lack of critical thinking to some viewers. The documentary also spends a lot of time on small details, like where Lazar supposedly went for his job interviews, which doesn't do much to support his bigger claims about alien technology. This narrow focus takes away from a deeper investigation into whether Lazar's stories could be true, leaving viewers wanting more proof and a stronger argument. But this wasn't the only issue with the film. The addition of actor Mickey Rourke as the narrator, sharing deep thoughts paired with basic computer graphics, feels out of place with the main content of the film. It adds a dramatic flair that doesn't really help make the documentary more credible or impactful. Despite these flaws, the documentary was released at a time when the government was starting to admit that some unexplained aerial phenomena, or UFOs, were real. The U.S. Navy confirmed the existence of UAP videos that showed strange flying objects with capabilities that seemed beyond what we know. This news sparked new interest and speculation that the government might actually have some advanced technology, like the kind Lazar described years earlier. The push by some government and military officials for more openness about UFOs, along with the release of previously secret footage in 2020, has kept the conversation alive and relevant. Even though these new revelations do not directly prove Lazar's claims, they add to a wider context where his stories remain a hot topic in the news and among the public. As the talk about UFOs, advanced technology, and where they might come from continues, Lazar's story stays at the center of these discussions. It makes us think more deeply about what might be out there, beyond what we currently know and understand about human technology. Whether you see Lazar as a genuine whistleblower or someone who made up stories, there is no denying that his narrative keeps adding to the debate about extraterrestrial life and advanced technology. But this wasn't the only question left in our minds. As we keep exploring these topics, we are constantly reminded of how vast the universe is and how much we still have to learn. Lazar's claims about working with spacecraft powered by a mysterious substance he calls Element 115, described as a powerful energy source that can control gravity, make us wonder about the possibilities of traveling between stars and meeting other civilizations. Scientists have created a real element similar to Lazar's Element 115, called Muscovium. However, the real element is unstable and does not match Lazar's description of a stable, powerful energy source. This difference raises more questions about whether his claims could be true and what the real story is behind the technology he talks about. In the end, while the documentary may not change the minds of skeptics or provide solid proof, it keeps the discussion going about what might be just beyond our current reach in science and technology. Whether or not people believe in Lazar's specific claims, his story pushes us to think about what could happen if we encountered advanced technologies from other worlds and how such discoveries could change our understanding of the universe and our place in it. And so, the debate goes on. Every new piece of information or discovery could completely change what we think we know, keeping everyone curious and engaged as we continue to explore the endless mysteries of the universe and the possibility that we are not alone. As we ponder Lazar's claims about alien technology, what if they're true? Comment with your thoughts and subscribe for more discussions on the mysteries of the universe.